Hi everybody, it's Casey Williams. Well, I have a really cool car to show you this evening. But before I do that, I'd like to give a shout out to our friends at Mississippi Public Broadcasting, who not only sent me this really cool shirt, but invited me to their radio program, AutoCorrect, a couple of weeks ago. Now, if you see my videos every single week, you know I know quite a bit about new cars. But the thing is, I don't know much about repairing them. Our friends at MPB absolutely know about repairing those cars. Do a great job at that. It was just a joy to be with them. So I recommend you check them out. The radio program broadcasts at 11 a.m. Eastern, and you can get it online, mpbonline.org. Please check them out. Well, I promised you a pretty cool car this evening, and hopefully we've delivered. It's the 2020 Chevy Bolt. It's the pure electric EV that's not the one based in California. So let's go have a look at it. You know, if you look at the front, you see a real Chevrolet face to it. Looks a lot like the Cruze that just went out of production, get ready to go out of production. But I think it looks really nice, looks aggressive, looks sporty, and looks very good. You come around the side profile, and I had some of my friends say, you know, it looks kind of like a four-door smart car, and it kind of does in some ways, but it's a really aerodynamic shape that creates a lot of interior space. And when we get inside, you'll see there's plenty of space in there for four people, almost a mid-sized car. But from the outside, you know, it's kind of a take it or leave it design. I like it. I think it looks very futuristic, looks very modern, works for me. 17-inch alloy wheels. And again, you know, the car's so tall, they look like little wheels, but they're 17-inch wheels. Like this, kind of, you know, the broken pillar here in the back, just gives it kind of a streamlined look. But it looks very elegant, you know, lots of chrome detailing here. This is the premiere of the upscale package, so it's got a lot of details on it. But I like the way the car looks. Coming around the back, I think it looks pretty nice. Coming inside, and I think this is one of the advantages of this car over at least its main competitor. There's a lot of storage space in here. So right now the back seats are up, but you can put the back seats down. You can get a bicycle in there if you take the front wheel off. Beneath the floor, here, you know, you can see I've got some of my daughter's gear in here. Beneath the floor, some more storage. So if you want to secure things, if you want to put a laptop bag down there, great place to hide that. And then below that's where you keep the charging system for the car. But it's just a really practical car. When we went to the unveiling of the car in the first press launch out in San Francisco, one of the owners was out there. He had a surfboard rack on the top of it, you know, used the car quite a bit. He made the point of saying, you know, the car's very aerodynamic, and if you put a surfboard on the top of it, that's going to affect your range just a little bit. But it also makes the point that you can do a lot with this car that you can't do with some of the other EVs. It's just a very functional, very practical, easy to use car. So the questions I'm sure you have right now when you're thinking about an EV is, A, how long can you drive the car? How far can you drive? What's the range? And how long does it take to recharge the car? Well, Chevrolet claims a 259-mile range in the car. And that's up about 20 miles from when they first launched the car. So 260-ish miles, depending on how you drive the car. I think that's pretty good for a car in this price range. I'm talking about recharging it. Well, if you plug it in at home, and this is how they say it, you plug it in at home, you're going to gain about 4 miles of range per hour. This is like a 120-volt wall plug. If you plug it into a custom 240-volt charger, you can gain about 25 miles an hour. And if you go to a DC fast charger, you can gain 100 miles in 30 minutes. So that kind of gives you perspective of what you're talking about. If you're just going to plug it in at home, and almost no owners will, they'll get a professional charger put into their house. You know, it's going to be a long time to get the car recharged. But a 240-volt charger, you know, you plug it in the evening, it's ready to go in the morning. And it's pretty simple to plug it in. Door here on the fender, you take it, plug it in, snaps, done. It's as easy as that. Well, compared to some of the other electric cars on the market, the thing I really like about the Bolt is the interior. You know, that tall roof line from the outside, you know, it looks a little ungainly, looks a little nerdy. But when you come inside, you get the space of a small crossover. You enter the car at a higher height, you sit a little bit higher in the car, and it just feels like, you know, you're kind of just have a lot more room inside of it. You can get four-wheel people in here comfortably. You know, we've got heated leather seats, front and rear, heated in the back as well. A heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, and the armrest in the back. It's a pretty comfortable car. I like the console here. This works out really nice. You have a little storage space here, but you also have wireless phone charging here. Got a slide, just plug it in, automatically does it. Of course, you have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 4G Wi-Fi in the car, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All those systems are here. But when you start looking at the design of the car, I think it looks pretty cool. I like this kind of marble effect here on the dashboard. It's also on the doors. The car looks very futuristic. Looks very nicely designed. I like the controls here in the center, the big touch screen. And again, you don't need a big tablet style touch screen to have everything you need. this works just fine. I've got the audio up here right now. One button, it goes to all your different functions here. Again, you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can use the navigation off your phone. There's also an app that you can use on the phone that'll tell you the best route to take to conserve energy. Also help you plot all of your charging stations along the route too. So that's a very helpful app if you're gonna have one of these cars. But I like the touchscreen, works fine. I like this energy monitor, that's kind of cool. Keep in mind, I've been out, hitting the throttle hard and having fun with the car. So it tells you how you're using your energy, and right now it's driving and accessories, mainly because I haven't been driving very efficiently and I've had the air conditioner blasting, so I haven't been doing the best work. But this tells me that, and I can change my behavior. The climate settings here, battery conditioning. So it gives you some details here on how you're using the car. Even breaks it down, technique, terrain, climate settings, outside temperature, things that are affecting your range, and kind of plots against the average, kind of how you're doing mile by mile. So again, just some nice tools to help you maximize your range and efficiency of the batteries. I like that a lot. I also like the flat screen here in the center. On the left side, it has my driving range. Tells me my maximum and minimums, depending on how I drive. And then, trip computer, all that stuff, speedometer, it's all here as well. I think that's really cool. Some other features that this car has, it's got regenerative braking, like hybrids do and electric cars do. It's very cool. But there's also a button here on the steering wheel that you can pull it so you can have regenerative braking on demand. You pull that and it just sucks the car down without even using the brakes. That's really a neat feature. You can pretty much drive the car without using the brake pedal. Just pull this, throttle, drive the car. But it's just a really pleasant place to be in here. I like it. I like it set up. I like the glass. It's very airy. The one last thing I'll say is that General Motors put up effort into the safety of this car as well. This has the full suite of crash avoidance systems. It has a pedestrian detection system with auto brake on the front. It's got lane keep assist. It's got lane departure warning, rear cross path detection, blind spot warnings. Pretty much the full suite. And one last thing, really excellent camera system, high definition. You've got the 360-degree view here, in the back. No problem at all backing this car up and maneuvering with it. Overall, just a very pleasant car to be in. The thing I always hear from car guys when I talk about an electric car, they're like, oh, it's an electric car, it's wussy, it doesn't have a big engine in it, it's not fast. That is complete nonsense. This car will do 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds, which is blisteringly fast for a compact car that's still an affordable compact car. And you think back to the GM EV1 back in the 1990s. That car, 0 to 60 time, was on par with the Camaro Z28. These are not slow cars. You get instant torque, right off the line, all the power all at once. In this little front-wheel drive car, it's the equivalent of 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque going to the front wheels in a subcompact car. That's plenty. And like I said, the best part about driving an electric car, it's just smooth, it's quiet. You just hear a little bit of motor whine, you hear a little screeching from the tires when you hit it too hard. But it's just a very pleasant car. And I tell people it's a lot like, the switch from piston engines to turbine engines in an airplane. Once you've made that switch, you wonder why, anybody ever had piston engine planes to begin with. You certainly don't miss them. And once you get used to life in an electric car, you don't really care if you have a gas engine or not. It just doesn't matter. And the nice thing about this car is you don't have range anxiety. You don't worry about driving it. You've got about 260 miles range when you plug it in. You can, if you need to, quick charge it, at professional chargers, at commercial chargers. Gives you another 100 miles in about 30 minutes. So you can charge this car along the way. You can charge in your home garage if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it unless you get a 240 volt charger. So you get all that. And the car's it's just a very pleasant car to be in. And just thoroughly like driving it. On the highway, again, you're going to use more energy, you're running faster, you're going to burn up the batteries a lot faster doing that. But around town, you're going to get the 260 mile range. And I think you're going to be very happy in the car driving it that way. Well, I know the Teslas get a lot of attention, but it's helpful to keep in mind that General Motors has been building modern electric cars for almost 25 years. They have a lot of experience, and it really shows up in the Bolt. It's a car that's quiet, it's smooth, plenty of power, really good range. You sit up high, it's really practical, it's easy to park it. I just think it's just a very user-friendly car that delivers everything you'd expect out of an electric car. And unlike some of those cars from California, it actually has a realistic price tag. So it starts at $36,600. you can lease them, get a pretty good deal on it that way. This one, premier package, Bose audio, all the crash avoidance systems, the heated seats, the heated steering wheel, all of it, $43,735. So again, you know, it's not a cheap car, but for everything it offers, and electric car, that's a pretty affordable car. I think Chevrolet has really packed it full of value and done a good job. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Till then, storm forward.